Students, so far we are considering various applications to the Bernoulli principle. Now let us consider another application, and that is dynamic lift. Dynamic lift is a force that acts on a body due to pressure difference caused by the motion of the body through the fluid. Now we briefly discuss this force qualitatively in case of 1. An airfoil or a wing of an aircraft. This is one example, and another example we will be considering is a spinning ball. So both move through a fluid. First let us consider the spinning ball. In many games such as cricket, tennis, baseball or golf, we notice that a spinning ball deviates from its parabolic trajectory as it moves through air. This deviation can be partly explained on the basis of Bernoulli's principle. You know very well, in the cricket game, there are two types of bowlers are there, fast bowler and a spinner. So when a fast bowler bowls, that ball describes a parabolic trajectory. But when a spinner throws a ball, its path, the path followed by the ball, deviates from the parabolic trajectory. So why it deviates from the parabolic trajectory and it swings? Why the deviation? We describe with Bernoulli principle. Now coming to Bernoulli equation, sum of pressure, potential energy of unit volume, and sum of pressure, kinetic energy per unit volume and potential energy per unit volume. The sum of the three energies is a constant. That is Bernoulli equation. Now we are considering a ball which is thrown horizontally. When a ball is moving horizontally, the streamline flow over the ball also horizontal, and for horizontal movement the height will be more or less same. Already density of air and g value, these are constants, and if the ball is moving horizontally, then h is also same, so that the rho gh term also becomes a constant. So you can shift this constant term to right hand side, and you can write this equation as p plus half rho v square is equal to constant for this case. So for horizontal streamline flow, sum of pressure and kinetic energy of unit volume is a constant. So we will make use of this equation to describe this. Now let us consider, suppose here a fast bowler has bowled a ball with speed v, and as the ball is moving to right hand side, the fluid, that is air, is flowing over the ball surface like this. These are the streamlines. Since the ball is symmetrical, the streamline distribution above the surface and below the surface are same. They are equally distributed. Now let us consider 2 points. point 1 at a distance from center of ball above the surface and at the same distance below the surface. Now consider here the velocity is v1 and here the velocity is v2. Since it is symmetrical and streamline distribution is uniform on upper surface and lower surface, see at point 1 and at point 2 the velocity, the speed of the airflow will be same, that is v1 is equal to v2 is equal to v. So now let us go to the Bernoulli equation. For horizontal streamline flow, P plus half rho v square is equal to constant. Here at point 1 and at point 2 the speed of flow is same, that is v is same. Rho is anyhow a constant. If v is same, then p also will be same, that is at point 1 and at point 2 the pressure exerted will be same. So here at point 1 the pressure is P1 and at point 2 the pressure is P2 and both are equal. So now pressure is actually defined as pressure is equal to force by area. From this you can write force is equal to pressure into area. Okay, if at point 1 and point 2 if pressure is same, the area is same, therefore force also will be same. So here the downward force and here the upward force, both are equal. Since both are equal, the ball will not deviate from its parabolic trajectory. It will neatly follow a parabolic trajectory. Now let us go for a ball which is thrown by a spinner. See, when a ball is spinned, suppose a spinner, when a ball is undergoes spin, that is rotating about its own center of mass, center of gravity. So when a ball spins, there are air layers in touch with the ball. Suppose this is a ball, and its surface is rough. Since its surface is rough, the streamlines so when a ball spins, since its surface is rough, it drags the air layers to rotate with it. It forces the air layer in touch with the surface to rotate along with it in the same direction with the same speed. So first one layer in touch with the ball rotates, and this layer induces another layer adjacent to it to rotate in the same direction. See, this we will be considering in the viscosity of fluids. See, so in this way this layer causes another layer, it drags another layer to move along with it. In this way the air layers around the ball to rotate along with the spinning ball with the same velocity and in the same direction. So the streamlines of air are shown in this diagram. The ball is rotating anti-clockwise and the air layers also rotating anti-clockwise with speed Vr. Now the spinning ball, when a spinner throws a ball, it spins around its center of mass. At the same time, it moves to right hand side with some velocity v. So it has two types of velocities, rotational velocity and translational velocity. It is having two types of velocities. As it is moving to right hand side with v velocity, air flows over its surface with v velocity. So this velocity is v. This velocity is v. Air is moving over the ball with v velocity, since it is having a translational velocity of v. And since it is rotating, some air layers rotating around it with vr velocity. Now let us consider 2 points, one above the surface and two below the surface, at the same distance from the center of the ball. And let us consider the resultant of the two velocities. See, since the ball is moving, spinning anti-clockwise, and the translational speed of the air is also in the same direction, that is, ball is moving to right hand side means air will flow to left hand side. So the air velocity, flowing velocity, and the layers which are rotating about the ball, its direction, these two directions are to left hand side. Both are having same direction, therefore the resultant velocity becomes v plus vr. And at point 2 below the ball, see, the rotation direction is to right hand side and the streamline flow direction is to left hand side. So this is v, this is v, and this is vr. So since these are in opposite direction, the resultant speed at point 2 becomes v minus vr. V minus vr. So in this way, when a spinning ball is moving in the air, at point 1 and point 2, the resultant velocity is not same. Above the surface the velocity is more, and below the ball the velocity is less. Now let us go for the Bernoulli equation. P plus half rho v square is equal to constant. On the top of the ball at point 1, the resultant velocity is more. If velocity is more, if velocity is increased, pressure must decrease. So here pressure decreases, P1 becomes less. And here below the ball, velocity decreased. If velocity decreases, pressure increases, because sum of the two terms will be constant always, no? That's why if here resultant velocity decreases, pressure increases. So at point 2 the pressure will be more. Now but force is equal to pressure into area is same. Therefore if pressure is less, force also will be less. The downward force is less, upward force is more. Therefore the net force works in the upward direction. Then and that is called dynamic lift. See here, because of pressure difference, here the pressure is less, here the pressure is more. So that's why here downward force less, upward force more. Because of pressure difference, we got force difference. And because of force difference, a net force is working in the upward direction. And because of the net force working upward, the ball swings upward. The ball doesn't follow usual parabolic trajectory, but it swings a little upward. So this is called dynamic lift. See, there is a net force working in the upward direction because of pressure difference. and that is called dynamic lift. That is called dynamic lift. Let me read the dynamic lift definition. Dynamic lift is a force that acts on a body due to pressure difference caused by the motion of the body through the fluid. Now, let us consider dynamic lift on aerofoil. Aerofoil means, see here it is given wing of an airplane. If you observe the wing of an airplane, its upper surface is an arc and lower plane is a straight line. It means, see here, when a ball was thrown, the streamlines equally distributed above the surface and below the surface because it is a symmetric body. But here this aerofoil is not symmetric. The upward surface is curved and the lower surface is a straight line, a straight plane. So this its shape is not symmetric. That's why when the airplane is moving on runway, the air doesn't equally move over both the surfaces. The streamlines are crowded over the upper surface, and here the number of the streamlines are are spaced at more distance. Here they are spaced at shorter distance. Here they are closely spaced, here farther spaced, because of the asymmetry in its shape. Now you may ask why it is designed like this. Why it is designed arc like on the upper surface and a straight line in the lower surface. Why? Because this particular shape makes the air to flow. This arc like surface makes the air to flow with large velocity here, and the straight line, this plane surface, makes the air to flow with a little less speed. Now we choose 2 points, point 1 and point 2, at the same distance. See here at point 1, here the speed of airflow is more. If speed is more, pressure will be less. So here pressure is less. If pressure is less, force also less. Now below the aerofoil, the speed of airflow is less. V2 is less. If V2 is less, according to Bernoulli equation, if V is less, pressure will be more. So here at point 2, P2 is more. If P2 is more, F2, that force also will be more. So the downward force is less and upward force is more, so that a net force works in the upward direction. A net force works in the upward direction. That is called dynamic lift. And that dynamic lift is made possible, is occurring because of pressure differences. So the net upward force makes the airplane take off from the runway. So when you compare these two, both are having dynamic lift due to pressure difference only. But how the pressure, here the pressure difference is produced by spinning, and here the pressure difference is produced due to change in shape. See, upper surface is curved and lower surface is flat, so making the body asymmetric. the pressure difference is created here, and here the pressure difference is created by spinning, and the pressure difference because of spinning is called Magnus effect. This is called Magnus effect. Example 11.8. You read the problem. A fully loaded Boeing aircraft has a mass its total wing area it is in level flight with a speed of 960 kilometers per hour. So it is in level flight. Speed. Let us convert this into meter per second. A. Estimate the pressure difference between the lower and upper surfaces of the wings. Pressure difference. Suppose upper surface is curved, lower surface is flat. Let the lower surface here say 0.1, 0.2. Here pressure P1, here pressure P2. So pressure difference. Here pressure will be more. Therefore, let us write P2 minus P1 is equal to how much? That is asked. Estimate the pressure difference between the lower and upper surfaces of the wings. Second one, what is asked? Estimate the fractional increase in the speed of the air on the upper surface. So here on the upper surface the speed is V1 and here V2. See here P1 less, P2 more. Since P1 is less, V1 will be more, and P2 more means V2 is less. Pressure difference, more minus less, V1 minus V2. Estimate the fractional increase. Fractional increase means change in speed by original speed. But here we take change in speed by average speed. Change in speed by average speed. So this is asked here. So when the airplane is moving on the runway, pressure difference is created. On the upper surface pressure is less, in the lower surface pressure is more, and pressure is equal to force by area, or force is equal to pressure into area. If pressure is less, force also will be less because A is common in both cases. So here P1 less means F1 also less. Here P2 more means F2 also more. F2 also more. So here F1 means P1 into A. Here F2 means P2 into A. P2 into A. So downward force is less, upward force is more. So the net force will be in the upward direction. So net force upward is equal to F2 minus F1. F2 means P2A, F1 means P1A. So that is equal to P2 minus P1A. Now downward force, its weight will be working downward, so that is mg. Its mass is so that is given. Let us substitute the values afterwards. Now to lift the airplane, the net upward force must be at least equal to this. To lift the airplane, the net upward force must be at least equal to this downward force. Therefore, we write P2 minus P1 into A is equal to mg, or P2 minus P1 is equal to mg by A. So now let us substitute the values. Mass is 3.3 into 10 to the power of 5, G value 10, capital A 500. So substituting the values, we get the answer 6.5 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton per meter square. So we have calculated the pressure difference, the first part over. In the second part, what is asked here? In the second part, let us see here. Estimate the fractional increase in the speed. Fractional increase. Here one data is given. The density of air is rho is equal to 1.2 kg per meter cube. Let us note that rho is equal to 1.2 kg per meter cube. According to Bernoulli equation, P plus half rho v square plus rho gh is equal to constant. But initially our airplane is moving on the runway. It is moving in the horizontal direction. Therefore, the h value is constant. For a horizontal streamline flow, h is constant. Therefore, this also taken to right hand side. Constant minus constant is equal to constant. Therefore, you can write P plus half rho v square is equal to constant. Now, P1 plus half rho v1 square is equal to P2 plus half rho v2 square. Now, P2 or P2 minus P1 is equal to half rho v1 square minus v2 square. Now, this is in the form a square minus b square. A plus b into a minus b. Now, let us make v1 minus v2 subject. 2 into P2 minus P1 by 2 into P2 minus P1 by rho into V1 plus V2. Now, P2 minus P1 by these two can be written as denominator of denominator. V1 plus V2 by 2 becomes V average. So now actually what is asked? Fractional what is asked here? Let us look once again. Estimate the fractional increase in the speed. Fractional increase. Fractional increase means V1 minus V2 by V average. So here we have an equation, no? Dividing both equations by V average. So dividing this equation on both sides by V average, we wrote an equation. Now let us substitute the values. P2 minus P1, pressure difference just now we calculated 6.5. Rho is given, density of air 1.2 kg per meter cube, and V average also given. See here we converted kilometers per hour into meter per second, 267. Substituting and simplifying, we get 0.08. So this is a fraction. If you want fractional increase in percent, you have to multiply this by 100. So percent increase in velocity, in speed. Percent increase in speed is equal to 0.08 into 100. So that is equal to 8%. See the airplane wing is designed like this: upper surface curved, lower surface flat, to cause change in flow speed. Here V1, here V2. So just by changing the shape, the percent increase in speed, and the percent increase in speed is just 8%, and this much percent increase in speed is lifting your airplane. See, just this much percent increase in speed is lifting the airplane from the runway. Let us consider another problem, additional problem 11.27. A plane is in level flight at a constant speed and each of its two wings has an area. Area is given. If the speed of the air is, speed is given over the lower wing. See, this is lower wing means lower wing V2. Upper wing 234. Point 1, point 2. Here the velocity is V1, here the velocity is V2. So if the speed of the air is 180 over the lower wing means V2, and 234 upper, V1 upper. Determine the plane's mass. Air density is given 1 kg per meter cube. Now net upward force is equal to weight of aircraft. Net upward force is P2 minus P1 into A. Weight is mg. So or mass is asked, therefore we wrote like this. Now writing Bernoulli equation. For horizontal streamline flow, this also becomes constant, therefore we write here some day-to-day examples are given. In heavy winds, house roofs are blown off. See why that happens here. See, when velocity of wind is greater, here this is open, so inside the house the pressure is P2. Actually inside the house and outside the house the pressure will be same when there is no wind blowing. When outside wind is blowing with large velocity, then what happens? Here on the surface of the roof, velocity increases means pressure decreases, and inside the house the pressure is as usual, but compared to inside house, outside house the pressure is less. So naturally what happens, wind blows from high pressure area to low pressure area. So inside the house the air pressure is more compared to outside, therefore the wind exerts dynamic lift. So because of the pressure differences causes force difference. Here the force is less and here the force is more. So because of the pressure difference, force difference is here, there is some net upward force is there, that is called dynamic lift, and because of that the roofs are blown away. Next example is Two cardboards are suspended freely. See, two cardboard plates are like this. This is one, and this is one. There, suspended freely from a roof, parallel to each other. If air is blown between them with a blower pump, they move closer. See, between the gap, if air moves fast, that means outside also air is there, but compared to outside air, inside is the air speed is more. That is with blower you are sending air with large speed. When air speed increases, pressure decreases. So inside the plates pressure is decreased. P decreases. So outside the plates the pressure is as usual. The outside the pressure is say atmospheric pressure. Suppose this is P1, and here the outside the plate the pressure is P2, and this is 1.01 into 10 to the power of 5, and inside the pressure decreased means suppose 0.70 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. So outside pressure more, inside pressure less. So naturally the air moves from higher pressure area to lower pressure area, therefore the air applies pressure on the two plates, therefore the two plates come closer together. Another example is given. When fan is rotating, papers are blown off from the tabletop. The velocity of wind on the paper increases due to fan, and hence pressure decreases. It lifts before it is blown to a side. See, on the table papers are kept, and here the ceiling fan is moving. So the air blows over the papers. Then as velocity increases, pressure decreases. So on the upper surface pressure is less, and below the paper the pressure is as usual. So let it be more. So naturally, because of dynamic lift, the paper moves up. The same case is seen in case of a calendar which is there on the wall. Here also we see the same thing. The fan air also flows over the surface of the calendar with a large speed. Velocity increases, pressure decreases. Behind the sheet the pressure is as usual. So here less pressure, behind the paper more pressure. That more pressure lift the sheet upward. That's why the paper moves up. Another example is given. A man standing on a railway platform feels a pushing force towards a fast moving train because due to drag the velocity of air in touch with increases, thereby the pressure of air between train and man decreases. Suppose we are standing on a platform and here a train is moving. This is compartment, suppose, and you are standing here. So when the compartment is moving with velocity, air in touch with the compartment also moves. So relatively near you the speed is less, here the speed is more. As the speed increases, pressure decreases. Behind you the pressure is as usual, and in front of you say V more. V more means P less. P less here. Behind you P more. So naturally the air behind you pushes you towards, sorry, here, now you look at the diagram, that train is moving with some velocity. If train compartment is moving, air layers are dragged by the surface of the compartment. So the air layers closer to the compartment also move with same velocity. Okay, here the velocity is more. If velocity is more, pressure will be less. That is, in front of you the pressure is less, and behind you the air layers are not dragged by any force. Therefore, the velocity will be as usual, less only. So pressure will be more. Now what happens? Behind you pressure is more, and in front of you and towards train the pressure is less, and behind you the pressure is more. So air exerts some net force on your back, so you are pushed towards the compartment. So you should not stand nearer to the train or at the edge of the platform.